grab a drink, join the chat. Let's start the show.
Hello, hello. How are you doing, everyone? I am so excited to be here with you on tonight. And for those that don't know me, my name is Lindsey Vertner. I am an award-winning peak potential strategist, transformational speaker. I teach millennial moms and startup entrepreneurs how to master their mindset and balance their lives through self-care, self-worth, and self-discipline. And welcome to the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner. And I am super excited because my guest is the amazing Norman J. Liverpool the fourth. Did I get that right?
That's me. Yes, ma'am.
The fourth. All right. Look, no Roman numerals. I've never been good with those.
I'm only good with them because of my name.
After 1, 2, 3, and apparently I can do 4, then it's like, all right, what letters are those?
Right.
So let me tell you about Mr. Norman, y'all. All right, so he's an entrepreneur and speaker, a dedicated professional with a passion for spreading awareness for the LGBTQ community and the issues that this community faces. He is the creator of the signature mentorship and coaching program designed for that community called Over the Top Living, and he regularly speaks on topics concerning family dynamics, self-acceptance, self-encouragement, and life as a gay Black man. So welcome my guest, Norman J. Liverpool the fourth.
Yes, thank you. It is so great to be here with you all the way from sunny Las Vegas.
Hey, Vegas.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been getting Vegas vibes because it's been in the 90s here in Indiana. But in Vegas, y'all don't get the humidity. So that's the thing.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Yes. So I just introduced you, but why don't you tell us a little bit more about who is Norman from your perspective? Say it with your own words, like who is Norman? And don't give us the spiel that, you give to the professionals. Give us the real deal. Who is Norman?
So whenever I do my lives or anything on my show, this is the way I introduce myself. I say, you already know who it is, but in case you forgot, I don't mind giving you a slight reminder. It's your best friend, your good Judy, your next door neighbor, your niece, your cousin, your nephew. And I've recently been promoted to great auntie. But yes, like Lindsey said, my name is Norman J. Liverpool IV. And I am an entrepreneur. I'm a speaker. I'm the founder of Over the Top Living, which is a mentorship and coaching program that's specifically designed for the LGBTQ plus community. And we have various programs. We have an Evolve mentorship program. I do one-on-one coaching. We do some Facebook Live. So it's kind of a mixture of all of that in one. And the reason why my business is called Over the Top is because, hello. So that's just a little bit about me.
Nice. Now I noticed that you said I am your Judy. Like, tell me, I don't think I got any Judys in my life. So
you do. You just may not know that they're your Judy. So a Judy, that reference actually comes from LGBT history. And so a Judy is someone that you're close with, like your good friend. Someone that you can confide in, like a best friend. It's almost like a way to say, back in the day, they would say, are you a friend of Judy or a friend of Dorothy? Like that was the way to identify people in the community. And so now that term has adapted into your good friend. So you have good Judys.
Okay, yeah, I got me a lot of good Judys there.
Yeah.
I did not know that. They were supposed to be walking around like, yeah, girl, you my Judy.
Oh, seriously, that's the way it is. Like, hey, Judy, hey, like that's just the way we, we agree to one another.
Nice, nice. So tell us a little bit, how did you become who you are today? Have you always had this over the top personality, or, did you gradually have to find yourself?
So I've always had an over the top personality. I've always had a larger than life, super flamboyant, extra personality. But I never understood it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand it, and my family didn't understand it, right? So my mom thought I was like super creative. Like that was her thing. Like I was very creative. And a lot of this, while I was going through this, my dad wasn't around for a lot of that. So there was a lot of ups and downs, and I feel like I went from one extreme to the next, trying to find myself and understanding why I am the way that I am. And that is why I started Over the Top Living, because if I can help someone else shorten their distance between A to Z and help them more easily connect the dots, then I've, I've done my mission. So to answer your question, I've always been over the top, but it took some time to understand and to really come into myself in it and being authentic.
Nice, nice. So you mentioned like you would go from one extreme to the next trying to find yourself. Can you give an example of that?
Oh yeah, when I moved to Vegas, I was 21 years old. So I was like a baby, and not only was I a baby, but I was a baby gay. Because the first time in my life, I could outwardly and openly be a gay man, a gay person. And so without really having any direction or any role models or any sort of positive role model or anything to look to, you have to learn to navigate that yourself. So, I got involved, in the nightlife scene, and, I did drag for a while because I love that. And then when I did drag, I started loving the attention. So I was like, well, am I trans? There was so many different things that went through my mind just because there was no baseline.
Mm-hmm.
I literally just had to figure it out. So, when I first came out, it was nothing to see me with long acrylic nails and, 22-inch weave. Or I was literally just trying to find myself. And it took all of that back and forth for me to kind of rest in my authentic self.
Nice, nice. So what would you say was that key to finally get you to that authentic self?
That key, it started when I moved to Vegas because I realized that, oh, my mom is commenting. I realized that given where I was in Chicago, I could not come into myself given the strong spiritual religious background and being a part of a Black family anyway. Mm-hmm. So I felt like I had to move. So the first step was me recognizing that I needed to change the scenery that was around me. Mm-hmm. The second thing was, the saying where it says when you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. And I hit that. And I guess I was a glutton for punishment because I repeated that cycle several times and hit rock bottom several times. But the thing about that is I knew that I could come up out of it because I had done it before. Mm-hmm. So when I began to own my story, and owning my story was owning other people's part in my story. And that was the most difficult thing because, I'm jovial and happy, but it wasn't easy for me to talk about, my uncle who, I felt did not necessarily show me the love of an uncle, or difficult conversations that I had to have with my mom and going for a period of time without talking to her. So once you're all alone and there's nothing else but you begin to walk in a different type of confidence, because at this point it was like, well, I felt at that moment that I had lost it all anyway. So for me, it's like, I'm just going to live my life the way I want to by my design.
Yeah, that sounds like it would have been tough to be trying to figure out like, who am I? What is this that I'm going through? And then to not have any family there to support you. So what did that road look like as far as getting back on that healthy path to reconnecting with your family? Because I see that you said your mom was here. I saw her comment there. Hi, Mom.
Well, you know what? This is the thing that I've realized in doing the work for myself in order that I might serve my clients is you have to look at things exactly the way they are. So when my mom would say things to me, it wasn't coming from a place of hate. It was coming from a place of malicious intent. You know what I'm saying? It came from a place of love and maybe a little bit of fear in there, you know? Right. To see someone, I mean, like I recite this quote all the time from a movie Trade, and it says, "To be a Black man in America is a reality that will never be justified. So imagine being a Black gay male." So I look at that quote and I look at the way that my mom handled that situation. And at the time, I felt like it was coming from like a very bad place. But over time, I realized that it came from a place of love. And I think for me is my family knows that I have always been this loud and this boisterous. And so there was just another little addition to that is really none of their business. And so I find that for me now, I'm able to have a totally different type of relationship with my parents and with, you know, other family members, because we're at a point where we can just respect and see each other as adults and understand that I'm still the same person. I still have the same heart. I still have the same values that these people taught me. And so I think that when they're able to recognize a little glimmer of themselves in you, I do believe that makes it a little bit easier.
Nice, nice. So what advice would you give to that person that's going through these struggles and for some reason, like they've tried to reconnect with maybe the family that they've lost over a similar situation, but their family is just not accepting of it? Like, what would you tell that person?
So first of all, I would tell the person it's 2020. And what I mean by that is we're in a place now where we can choose our own family. And by no means am I negating the fact that, yeah, we want to have that connection or that relationship with, you know, with our bloodline family, but, you know, we're able to choose our family just like if someone was adopted. And so number one, take solace in that. Number two, understand that most of the time people don't want you to be your authentic and true self because they don't want their part of your story to be displayed. A lot of the times it's not that people don't want you to share your story or own your voice or walk in your power. It's that they don't want to be the villain in that story. So understand that number two. Number three is you will begin to walk in next level confidence. You will begin to unleash your unicorn power when you find your voice, choose your impact, and share your story. So yeah, you know what? It may be tough, it may be hard, but the way I look at it is my story is part of someone else's survival guide. Yes. So I have it, like, there's no other choice. Like, I've got to keep pushing, I've got to keep going. And as cliche as it sounds, it does get better.
Yeah.
Whether better means you repair that relationship or better means you move away from it and you're able to walk in your own unicorn power.
Yeah. One thing that I always say is that sometimes we have to love people from a distance. That doesn't mean that we don't love them, but we got to love them from maybe across the street or maybe a couple blocks away or maybe.
Oh, I'm in the next town over. I'm in the next town. Yeah.
Yes. And then I also like that you said, even though there are people that don't maybe want you to share their part in your story, it's important that you own your story. I know that I had a client where she wanted to share her story, but she didn't want to villainize her significant other, who was a significant trauma in her story. And
Mhm.
so just talking with her and working with her, it's just like, you know, your story is your story and your truth is your truth. And you can tell your truth and your story without, you know, making that person look absolutely like a monster. But here's the thing, like, those are their choices that they made. And
Exactly.
so, like, if they want to be the monster, they shouldn't have made those choices.
Lindsey, you hit the nail on the head. And that's exactly what I tell my clients as well, is if I walk up to someone and hit them,
Mm-hmm.
and they tell someone that I hit them, they have every right to tell that because
right.
And so it trips me out when people want to take parts of their story. And I'll tell you why that's dangerous. If I were to take out the part of my story that involves the unique dynamic that happened with my mother,
Mm-hmm.
there's someone else that would not even be able to identify with me because there's so many different parts of your story, right? So I'm Black, I'm gay, I come from a single mother household, I'm from the Midwest, you know, so all of those things may not resonate with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
There might be someone who specifically that may be watching this today that had an issue with their mom and is devastated at the thought that they may not be able to repair that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a duty and a responsibility. And I think my mom understands that too, because part of my story is some turmoil that happened between us, right?
Yeah.
But we understand now that that was part of the process. We understand now that we had to go through those things in order to have the solid relationship that we have now. And so it's so important to own every part of your story.
Yes. Yes.
And don't be mad if you make someone look bad, because at the end of the day, and I mean that, and I mean that, because so many times we hold our tongue, we bridle our tongues for what?
Mm-hmm.
That resentment on ourselves so that we can carry the stress and the weight of that burden. No, I say it all. I told you before, there's nothing in my story that I'm not willing to share because I know that my audience is vast. And it is very dangerous when we begin to buffet our story.
Right.
To pick it like that.
Right. Yes. You have to live in your truth, because whenever you are holding yourself back, you know, you start to build up that resentment, like, oh, right. I'm not really living in my truth. I'm not really sharing my story. And you might be going along all handy dandy, but really you're not. And you are draining and exhausting your mental health and your emotional health. And that starts to overflow into your physical health. So it's important that we show up authentically who we are and that we're unapologetic about that. And, you know,
unashamed.
Those characters, you know, what can you do?
Yeah. And I just think it's important to recognize that it's a progression. Like, even like my mom says here, she's trying to understand me and herself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We're all in this same situation of understanding self, bettering self, while trying to understand others and how we relate to the world around us. I think when you understand that it is a process, the weight becomes lessened because we don't have to do it all today.
Mm-hmm. Right. You don't have to do it all today. What did I tell y'all? Baby steps. Progress is better than perfection.
That's right.
You be at level 0 and then expect to blink and then end up at level 100. You need to focus on level 1, get there, figure that out. And then it's like, okay, now how do I get to level 2? Figure that out, then work on level 3. And before you know it, when you stay focused and stay consistent, you're like, oh, shoot, I'm past 100. I'm at 150. Hey.
Right. You're 100% right, Lindsey.
Yes. And then, so here's another thing, because I always say that, like, you are the solution to someone else's prayer. You are the answer to their problem. And then one of my coaches, Dr. Cheryl Wood, she always says, your story is about you, but it ain't for you, right? So it's important that we are authentic in who we are and that we're willing to share our story, flaws and all, because someone needs you for what you've been going through. You are their answer. You are their missing piece to help them elevate to where you are, to help them get to that next step.
Right. 100%. 100%.
Yes. Yes. Well, woo, child, we are getting good.
You know, my heart beating fast.
Right. Are y'all getting y'all's life together? You have to live 100% in your truth. You got to be unapologetic, okay?
I always say unapologetic and unashamed.
Yes.
We have to take the shame out of living ourselves, of living in our true selves. You have to take the shame away from that, right? You have to take apologies away from that. I don't apologize to anyone for me being me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that can't take me, they're not my people.
Right.
When people say, "Oh, Norman, you're too much," I said, "I'm not too much. I'm just enough for my people."
Right.
And even, you know, in business, not everybody is your client.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really important to allow that to roll over into business too, to run your business unapologetic and unashamed, and understand that not everyone is your client, and your story, while everyone could probably benefit from it, there's a specific audience that needs to hear your story.
Yes. And crazy thing, because just earlier today, I was texting with my neighbor and we were talking about, you know, people pleasing and things. And she was like, "Oh, no, I'm still a people pleaser." And I was like, "Oh, honey, I grew out of that." You either love me or hate me. And if you hate me, bye.
I mean, and it has to be that way, because I think what's shifting in our world and just in our mentality is that we're starting to see that life is not as long as we think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a moment to give you that's not true Norman.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's funny, even, I mean, it's just, I have to give you all of me or you get nothing.
Right.
I can't sugarcoat it. I can't take, you know, start like, no, you get Norman or you don't.
I love that. So you get Norman or you don't. Talk to us in the comments.
Yes.
Insert your name in that. Say you get Lindsey or you don't. Let's see to the comments. You get Jacqueline or you don't. You get me or you don't. You get Gina or you don't. So put that in the comments. Say if your name here. You get yourself or you don't.
And it literally, and it's a simple idea, but it's very difficult to implement.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, what else? She is letting us have it tonight. Okay.
Yes, Miss Gina, we're going to come back to your comment in 1 second, because right now, look, I am itching to know what is in somebody's cup. Okay, so listen, it is time for that part of the show. If you don't have a drink, make sure you go run and grab one. Let me give you a quick second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, run and grab your drink and come back and tell us exactly what's in your cup, because
what's in your cup?
Yes, it is that time of the show where we show off what we're drinking on the outside and the inside. So make sure you tell us in the comments what you're drinking, whether it's water or whether it's a special kind of water.
Hey.
We don't judge, okay? Be healthy or not. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Liverpool IV, what are you drinking? Put your cup up to the mic. Let us know.
I am being a true Midwesterner right now. I am drinking a beer in it was frosted, mason jar, and I'm just keeping it really simple this evening.
Okay. So I have never liked beer. The few times I have tried it, I'm always like, "Oh, why do y'all like this so much?" Like, I just can't do beer. It don't matter. I've tried different flavors, My husband, he loves beer. So for the beer lovers out there, what type of beer are you drinking? Does it matter? Do you got certain flavors that you like?
I love that. I acquired the taste of beer, and I'll just be very honest. When I lived with my grandmother before I turned 21, she would always keep a case of Heineken in the house, right? And it was, and the thing is, my grandmother very rarely drank. Now, she'd tell you she never drank in her life, which is not true, but she always kept a case of Heineken. So I would sneak out, and we lived in a high rise on Lake Michigan, and take a couple of beers and put them in my robe pocket, and then go outside and walk around the block and drink them and go back upstairs. And so my mom was drinking Chardonnay. Thank you, Jaden, for tuning in. So I would sneak that. And so I actually did not like the taste of beer. In 20, I liked the way it made me feel. And so I literally acquired the taste. And yes, Stella Artois is delicious. I'm actually keeping it really humble tonight. Back when I was in Chicago, we drank this. And so I'm having a Foster's Blue tonight. We drank Foster's Blue and Foster's Green.
Isn't that, this might not be the slogan, but in my head, I hear Foster's Australian for beer. Is that right? Is that
You know what? It might be, but I don't know. But I just know that I enjoy it and it's yummy.
Miss Michelle says, in my 20s, I could only drink beer if I had potato chips with it. That sounds like an Irish.
That goes with it. Yeah. I see you, Miss Michelle.
Chi-Town in the house saying Blue Moon for you, mama.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it looks like, yep. Miss Liverpool loves some Blue Moon too.
Yes.
And Dean says, me too. Beck's Dark Heineken. Are those two different, or is that
two different beers? But Heineken to me gets me together. Like if I go out with friends and I know it needs to be like a low-key night, I'll just have a couple of Heinekens and it puts me and snatches me and gathers me right together. Really.
Then we got some healthies. Some J Magic is having water. Hey, J girl.
Hey, you, Jay.
How you doing? Michelle is drinking water as well because she needs it. And Destiny just said adult drink. Now listen, Miss Destiny, we're going to need you to be a little more specific than that.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Go ahead and spill the tea on what you're drinking.
Spill the tea.
Yes. So today, I actually am keeping it kosher. I don't have any special ingredient in my drink today because I am excited. I am actually sharing confident. There we go.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, any of you that follow me know that I've been sharing a lot about my daughter lately because she started her business, Carmens Corner. She's 7 years old. And this past week, she has made over $250 selling her products at 7 years old, okay? So she's been out on the corner of our yard selling slime. And she sold out of her lemonades. A couple days, she was selling lemonade. She had regular, blueberry, and strawberry. And they come in these little pouches. So we're not pouring them in cups, nothing like that. Like you get a pre-made pouch. It comes with a straw, has a little straw on. It's like a high-end Capri Sun, okay? With some
I need some of that.
lemonade. Yes, with some good lemonade. Look, I was calling this liquid crack because you take one sip and you're like, Carmen, let me buy another bag. So today, in honor of my daughter, I am drinking her strawberry lemonade made with real strawberries. If I put it close, you can maybe see the seeds floating around in there.
Girl, we're going to have to talk to Miss Carmen to make a delivery to Las Vegas.
Yes. So if you see her selling her stuff or she posted, make sure you run and grab you some before she sells out. So
and I saw even didn't she just have like a conference or something for young girls 6 to 8? I saw
yes.
sold out.
Yes, yes. So she actually did two. Last Tuesday, she did a live event for the neighborhood girls. And then next Tuesday is the virtual event that sold out. And y'all, she is doing numbers. Like last time I checked the post, they had over 35,000 views, lots of shares and everything. Actually, somebody just emailed me today to schedule an interview with her tomorrow. So super, super proud of little Miss Carmen and Carmen's Corner. So I had to rep my baby today.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Awesome. That's awesome.
Yes, yes. So let's get back into the show. Put that back on the screen. I know there were some comments up here. Miss Liverpool, Mama Liverpool was giving it to us, baby. So let me go back. Let's see. She said, being a mom in general can be difficult. And as a mom of a gay child, I thought at first was very, very difficult for my child. Not so much concerned about what people thought per se, about judging me. Norman is a gift, not a mistake, and he is mine. Yes, Mama Gina.
And you know what? I got to shout my mom out because I believe, and I don't know why her Facebook is set up this way, but my mom obtained a PhD. So she is Dr. Franklin Liverpool. I don't know why she doesn't put that there, but I just find it very important and very appropriate to acknowledge her accomplishment.
Yes. Okay, Dr. Mom.
That's right.
You better change your name to Dr. Mama Gina Franklin Liverpool. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so just seeing your mom post that and knowing that you guys did have that turmoil in the past, like, how does that make you feel?
It's indescribable, Lindsey. Because I was very close to the women in my family. So my mom, and please forgive me, I get a little teary-eyed when I talk.
No, it's okay.
I was very close to my grandmothers and extremely close to my mother. And for even that one moment to feel like I wasn't going to be connected to her again, it was it hurt, it broke me, right? And so now to be on the other side of that we fully support and engage, like literally we engage with each other several times a day. And to know that I have her in my corner and I'm in her corner and that we can bounce ideas off of each other. And it's funny because me and my mom had got into a little heated argument. Maybe it was about a month or two ago. And I ended up calling her back and I said, you know, the reason we argue like this is because we're so much alike. So I'm so blessed to now, and I'm blessed with both of my parents. I have a great relationship with both of them. My dad lives here in Vegas, so I've been able to kind of reconcile that relationship. And so I'm blessed. And I know, though, that is not the case for many people. I do not take it for granted. I do not belittle or demean that in any way. It is huge for me to have the support of both of my parents, and I am grateful for that.
Yes, yes. So I know that we've talked about your mom a lot here, and you just mentioned your dad. I would love for you to dive deeper just a little bit about that relationship with your dad and what that looked like, because I know for a lot of not only men, but even Black men on a whole different level, like, oh, my son not gonna be gay. Like, so what did that look like with that relationship?
So I want to preface this by saying, and this is, and my dad knows this because we've talked about it. I personally feel that it was maybe a little bit easier for my dad because he was absent during the time where I was figuring this stuff out. Now, mind you, when I was 21, I moved here and lived with him. But when I'm talking about my formative years, he was not in the home. And for a lot of that, he was not in the state. Okay. So it was, to me, and I mean, maybe if he's on, he can say something different, but I feel like it was easier for him to accept. Now, my dad and I relationship was very up and down. Mm-hmm. And for a long time, if you had asked me when I was younger, I would have said I hated him. But I think that was because being the way that I am, he seemed so big. Mm-hmm. Like, and now I'm taller than him. If he tried to run his mouth, I mean, we go toe to toe. But back then, and I say that in joking, back then he seemed so big and so scary. And I always gravitated towards the women in the family. So, like, honestly, I'm not close with, I should say I'm closer with the female cousins than I am with my male cousins. I'm close with my grandmothers. Well, I didn't have any grandfathers, by the time I was born, but I've always gravitated towards the female. So even with my dad, I gravitated to his mother more than him. Mm-hmm. So, I know he did that. I know now, but it was rough growing up. But as an adult, I had to create a boundary with my past. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people think that boundaries are with people, but I had to put the stuff that happened with him, and I had to contain that so that it would allow me to restart a relationship with him now and continue that relationship in the future. And now he's also one of my biggest supporters. He comes to my events. He shows up. He's right there all the time. And I had to cuss him out yesterday because he hadn't returned my call in a couple of days. But yeah, it was a progression. But I definitely think that it's different for a parent when they're not involved in the daily. Like my mom had to deal with a lot from me, kind of dibble-dabbling, expressing myself, maybe that I was gay, to hearing things from counselors and teachers, so she was more in it day to day. So it's difficult for her, I believe.
And I love that, because I was actually going to point on the same thing. And Miss Diana, she said, love that, boundaries around your past. I do as well, because I'm always talking about part of practicing self-care is establishing boundaries, is healing those past traumas, because when you don't take time to heal them, then they pop up in your life, and usually at a very inconvenient time, and you can't control it. Then you're having a breakdown because you didn't heal the stuff from your past. So it's important that you take that time to heal your past traumas or heal your past experiences so that you control how they show up in your life, and so that you can move forward and have better mental and emotional health.
Yeah, 100%. And I think for me, the light bulb went off when I realized, at first I thought I had to put a boundary around the person. Mm-hmm. So that meant me not talking to my dad for 5 or 6 years. And we live 25 minutes from each other. Mm. But when I realized that I didn't have to put a boundary around him, I had to put a boundary around those past situations and those past experiences. I had to learn that some things will never change. And it's not my job to try to change that. But what I can do is allow you now an opportunity to know the true Norman. And you, like you said, you either get Norman or you don't. So at this point, you can choose to have me or not, but I will at least give you that opportunity.
Yes, I love that, because so I come from a single parent home. My mother is amazing. She did everything. Like, you wouldn't know that I lacked anything with how she brought me up. But there's that missing piece when you have an absent parent, especially if you have 2 absent parents. But then just that missing dad piece, like I saw him every now and then. And so there was a time where I called him my sperm donor versus my dad. And it wasn't until later, late high school, going into college, that I really started to connect with my dad more and like forgive him for those past things. But in doing that, I had to be real with my emotions and how I felt towards him and let him speak his piece, because of course there's 2 sides to every story, and then let him know my truth. Like, this is what I feel. And despite whatever you had going on with my mom, this is how I felt, and this is how it affected me as your daughter, especially watching him raise his stepdaughter. So that did a whole nother thing. Like, that's not even technically your blood, and you're taking care of her, but not your own blood daughter. And so there were so many pieces.
What I watched a thing on Facebook that Oprah put on, and TD Jakes said something so powerful. And Oprah was talking about her relationship with her mother. And if you're not familiar, they had a very strenuous relationship. You know, she went through a lot. But what TD Jakes said is it takes a lot to fill somebody like me up. I'm a 5-gallon person.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've realized is there could be times that people are giving me every single thing that they've got, but they're a pint person. Person. So I started to shift my thinking to they did the best that they could with what they knew and with what they had.
Yes.
Literally, it's not anybody's fault that, you know, some are quarts and some are gallons and some are, you know, liters and some are all these different sizes. And what I began to realize is that I wasn't measuring it anymore by how much I was receiving. I started looking at how much they were giving.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that for people like me, it takes a lot to fill me up. It takes a lot. And so when I discovered that mentality, I was able to completely revolutionize my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a 5-gallon person. And there might be someone in my life that's a 10-gallon person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, and so understanding that we all have varying degrees of what we can offer at any given time, and looking at the effort more so than what we're in receipt of.
Yes, because now I have a great relationship with my dad, and he's been an absolutely amazing grandfather since I've had children, which is a decade now. And so, like, kudos to you for having that capacity to be able to repair that with both your parents and still having them in your life. And so hopefully this is encouraging for anybody watching out there. Maybe you have a strenuous relationship with your mother or with your father or with anybody in your life, but especially with your parents, because it's something different whenever there's that friction with our parents. So may this live encourage you. Make sure everybody watching, you hit that share button, share it out, because you might not need the message, but maybe somebody else in your life does need the message. So be sure that you share this with everyone. Okay.
Don't be stingy. Do not be stingy. And I'll tell you, that is another mistake that we make, is we'll look at something on social media and say that doesn't apply to me and disregard it. Mm-hmm. That, like, for example, I know you work with, single moms and stuff like that. I'm remiss to not share that. Why? Because my stepsister is a single mother. My mother was a single mother. I have friends that are single mothers and have business ideas. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It may not be for you, but there might be someone that you don't even know is struggling with this. So I invite all of you, whenever you see Lindsey on live, or whenever you see me on live, share it, because it was something like that really rescued me. Someone shared something with me that they saw there was a need for. And so we can't be stingy with that.
Yes. I love that. Thank you. One other tidbit that reminded me is, like, what goes along with what you said earlier is that I often say that sometimes people can only support you for as high as they've taken themselves. So if you're a 10-gallon, I know, right? That be pulling the heartstrings when I throw that. Like, quit getting angry about everything, because maybe that person is not supporting you because they're resentful of you and they don't even know that they're resentful of you, type of thing. But so I'm gonna have to look. You're gonna have to find that video and share it with me, or I'm gonna have to Google it.
I will. It's how I recently posted it. Yeah. It, like, when I saw that, Lindsey, because this is a process that I've been working on for about 10 years. Mm-hmm. Hear him articulate, to hear him articulate that, I sat there and watched it over like 5 times, because I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like now it makes sense on what I have been trying to articulate. And that case in point, someone shared that video and I saw that and it was exactly what I needed at the moment to articulate something that I have been working on for a decade.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And it can be just little things like that. You never know. You never know. So, man, y'all, I hope y'all are getting all this life goodness. We are helping you repair relationships. Norman is giving it to us straight, okay?
No chaser.
Yes. Judy, he is your Judy, all right?
Yes, indeed.
Or should we say, not straight, no chaser?
Right, all right. Definitely not straight. Definitely.
So this is the perfect time. Make sure that you get your questions down below. Listen, okay, you post your questions there. It may or may not get answered, but that's what you get for waiting to the last minute, all right? It is that time of the show where we find out if Mr. Norman has what it takes because...
30-second hot shot. Answer the question in 30 seconds or less, or take your shot.
Norman J. Liverpool the fourth has 30 seconds or less to answer your questions, okay? Or take a shot.
All right, let's go.
What is it a shot of? I don't know. Listen, but
let's go. Let's do it.
A fake shot, you know, but we're gonna see what he got. Okay. So, wait, let me get my timer ready.
I made some little notes here just like in case you ask something that I can quickly refer to.
Prepared.
Always.
Let's see. Timer, 30 seconds. Okay, so I'll start the clock after I read the question. Then you'll have 30 seconds. When the time is up, I'll be like, That's your answer.
Let's go. I'm ready.
First question was in my DM says, are you single? And if so, what do you like? Go.
I am single. And if you want to know what I like, you can direct message me and we can chat.
Okay, love connections on the happy hour show.
Hey, I'm all about it. Yeah, I like I say, if you want to know, message me. I'm definitely single.
Nice. Okay, single and ready to mingle. Let's restart the timer. Okay, so no, we're gonna come back to that one. So this question was, how did you come out? Go.
I moved away from Chicago to Las Vegas. I called my mom, sent an email, and sent some text messages out and let them figure it out for themselves. Next. Oh, my mom put a question down there. Now, that's an interesting one.
Oh, wait, let me go back to the comments. Let's see. Okay, so Dr. Mama says, do you feel that being raised in a single mom home caused you to become a gay man? Go.
I do not. Just like you being raised in a dual parent household didn't cause you to be straight.
Okay. And that was straight, no chaser right there.
No, and the thing is, the reason why I say it like that is because I know that there's a lot of parents out there that think that. Like, could I have done something different? Could I have done something better? Or, you know, it has nothing to do with that. I am who I am, just like you are who you are. You know, now granted, there's parts of that that affect us, you know, as whole beings. But no, I could never say that I was a gay man because I was in a single mom household, because there was love there, there was nurturing there, and yeah, so not at all.
Nice. So this last question comes from Jazz Partita, and she says, "What does your mentorship program look like?"
30 seconds. Okay. So basically, if you've ever wondered what it would be like if you could quickly connect the dots of your life, if you feel like you're silenced or muted or scared to share your story, the program offers 4 promises. I offer the promise to unleash your unicorn power, stand out and shine, own your story, and walk in next level confidence. And it's specifically targeted for LGBTQ millennials.
Oh, with 4 seconds to spare. Okay. Let's see. Awesome. Well, listen here. I know that you have, let's get that off of there. We love you, Mama. We love you. There we go. So I know that you have your mentorship program and you have a special discount for the viewers. And if you are on the VIP list, you have an even better discount for my VIPs.
And so really quick, for anyone that's watching right now that is not on the VIP list and you think you or someone you know may benefit from what we've talked about, sign up for her list right now. Yes, Victoria, hashtag unicorn power. But sign up for the special VIP program that she has, because I have an amazing offer for you or for someone that you know.
Yes. So listen, you've been seeing it scroll down there every now and then, bit.ly/happy updates. And that is for you to stay updated on future episodes of the Happy Hour show or special airings. Like usually we're here on Tuesdays, but I'm going to see you again on Thursday, just 2 days away with the Lily Mae. Okay. So that'll keep you updated on future episodes, any special airings. And the best part is that sometimes my guests, this way, give extra exclusive happy hour specials, but only when you're on the guest list, okay? So make sure that you join. Yes, Dr. Mama, go to bit.ly/happy updates. You see the link right down there, floating by, scrolling by.
And if not, I'll text it to you too.
Yes. So go there, make sure you sign up, because you get happy hour specials, which if there's anything shared here, it's even better for my VIPs. Okay. So tell them just a little bit more about your mentorship. Like, you can take a little longer than 30 seconds. You just gave them the tea, but now because you have that discount, I want you to tell them so that they can know, like, yes, I need this. And if you don't need it, remember, share it out, because somebody else might need it.
So the name of it's a 5-week signature mentorship program. The name of the program is Evolve. And again, like I said, it's specifically designed for the LGBTQ community. And so I appreciate you sharing it out there. And a lot of people ask me, well, why? Why is it? Because that's me. And that's my audience. That's my niche. That's what I know. So it is a 5-week experience. And so week 1, we deal with unleashing your unicorn power. And we're talking about unlearning bad behavior and thought processes. Okay. On week 2, we're discussing the topic of stand up and shine. We're talking about how we increase our dedication when our motivation is not there. Week 3, we're talking about owning your story. It happened now, so now what do I do with it? Mm-hmm. And so obviously there's a lot that goes within there, but I'm giving you a brief synopsis. Week 4 is building your next level confidence. And what that is allowing this to come full circle. How do we now walk in next level confidence, utilizing the unicorn power that we discovered in week 1, and how to be unapologetically and unashamedly you. Week 5 is a bonus week, and it's entitled More to Say. And so on the More to Say week, we all will come together and share our experiences. We'll share our stories. We will do hot seat coaching, kind of something very similar to like this, but it'll be on Zoom. We're going to share our wins over the last 5 weeks, and you will also get a special offer to continue one-on-one coaching with me.
Nice. So make sure that you go to the website, right? Over the Top Living. They go there.
Yes. So you'll go to overthetopliving.com. You can either scroll to the bottom and you can fill out like a submission form, or on the tab What We Do, you'll see both. You'll see our services, but you'll see the program link specifically for Evolve. You'll just enter your email address and a member of my team will get back to you.
Nice. Yeah.
Make sure that you say that you heard us here.
Yes.
Now you see this discount, and now listen, y'all. You see this discount that's on this screen? If y'all think that is good, y'all better sign up for these happy hour alerts and go to my website and take advantage of this even more exclusive hush hush discount for that.
Yes. We love to see it. Yes. Victoria, you would be great for the program. Yeah, that's who I wanted you to connect with in Vegas, because both of you are in Vegas. So hopefully
I think we're friends on Facebook now.
Yes. Y'all will have to meet live and in person at some point. But make sure that you send that email and mention the happy hour show so that you can get the proper discount. And then listen, I will let him know. He's gonna check with me. Like, if you say I'm a VIP, and he's gonna say, is such and such a VIP? And I'm gonna be like, nah, boo, they lying. We walk with integrity on this show, okay? So please don't say that you're a VIP for that extra discount unless you are truly on that VIP.
And the thing about it is you won't even know what the discount is unless you're a VIP.
Okay.
So you won't even know what these figures look like.
Right. Because they're going to get a special email that says you're VIP. So ignore that discount. You get this discount.
That's right. And then just to start, our next cohort starts August 3rd. So that gives you plenty of time to connect with me. We will start the 5-week program August 3rd. August 3rd. Don't forget it. What did we say? August 3rd. So make sure you connect with, first, you want to go to Lindsey and get on the VIP list. Then you want to hop over to my website and we'll get the ball rolling and get you enrolled. Space is limited. Okay, space is limited. And so we want to make sure that you get a chance to get in this next one, because then you're going to have to wait all the way for another 2 months or so before we get to the next one.
And listen, life is short, okay? You got to live it now. Can't be waiting like a shoulda, coulda, wouldas, all right?
That's right.
So it is the end of our show. I am absolutely had a great time with the wonderful Norman J. Liverpool IV. And I need to let you guys know about a little question that I have to ask my special guest here. Keep going the wrong way. There we go. I got to ask my special guest. So to end the show, those that know me know that I am all about happiness. As you can see, Journey to Happiness starts here.
Okay.
And living your first class life, and part of living that first class life is being 100% authentically you and creating happiness in every moment that you can, walking fully in your purpose and living a fulfilled life. So I must ask my signature question that I ask all guests, and this will wrap up our show for tonight. Norman J. Liverpool IV. How do you intentionally create happiness in your life?
I wake up every morning and I make a decision to be myself. From that point, whatever happens, it's going to be Norman reacting to it. But I look at myself in the mirror. I say, damn, you look good. You're amazing. You're blessed. Money flows to you. You know, I say all my affirmations. And then I get out of my bed. But one thing that I will tell you that makes the biggest difference is when you wake up in the morning, put your phone down. Start doing something else. And the reason I say that is when you wake up in the morning and the first thing you're doing is this, what you're telling the universe is you're more concerned with what other people are doing, work that you've got to do on yourself. And so when you start the day being concerned about everybody else, that is the way the rest of your day will turn out.
Woo! I like that. And I hope y'all caught it. If you didn't, go back and catch the replay and make sure you for sure share this episode out, okay? Listen, it has been an amazing night. Thank you again to my guest, Norman J. Liverpool IV. Make sure that you sign up for updates. As you can see, bit.ly/happy updates. Make sure you go purchase my book, First Class Life, at firstclasslifebook.com. And there is a coordinating, a coloring book. Yes. This will also help you live authentically in your life. So I love you guys. Thank you for spending your evening with me. Make sure that you join me in just 2 days for another episode of the Happy Hour Show where I bring on my guest, the wonderful Lily Mae. So that is it. Make sure that you are here with us. Thank you, Michelle. She said, I have enjoyed.
And add me, connect with me. Add me on.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, yes. You've been seeing his information all throughout the night. Let me add it on the screen again so that they can follow you. There's Instagram. There's the website again right there. So connect with my wonderful, wonderful guest and make sure that you tune in on Thursday for another episode of the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner. Bye, y'all.